Hello, we are Sornia. Thank you so much for opening your hearts to our messages, and thank all of you for your inquiries. You've been very active coming to visit us and asking, looking for answers. Well, not so much looking for answers. Let's be real honest. Kind of coming and we're having very interesting discussions. So we've talked about this a lot, and most of you know that you are a multidimensional being. And so we want to explain this because there has been a bit of a change also in regard to you as a multidimensional being. Hopefully we are not going to confuse you and we can get this so that it makes sense. Our communications with you and you with us, so that interaction that we have has increased and deepened and expanded, all of those wonderful words that we use to describe this interaction. And it's not just in your sleep state. That's what we have referred to in the past as you are in a sleep state, and then your consciousness, the I am, comes to visit us, basically. But what's happening, has been happening for a while, and now we see the dramatic shift, is that it was happening before, but now it's more pronounced and more defined, is that you are able to go through your third dimensional experience. But while you are going through your third dimensional experience, you are also, this has always been true, okay? You're very connected with the spirit realm. You're more connected with the spirit realm than you are with the third dimensional earth realm, but you're also connected with different dimensional realities. So what's happened, and you may have noticed this through an increase in intuition, but your understanding and awareness, I guess awareness would be a better word to describe it, of that very nature of communications has been amplified. It's clearer. You're understanding it more. It's still coming through as insights or intuition, or many of you have been just in simple conversations and things will pop up and you go, where did that come from? It's because of this increased awareness. It's always been there, this increased awareness of your I am. When we say the I am, we mean that consciousness, that essence of who you are. So what does that mean? It's exciting, really, because it's the evolution of your consciousness within that physical body. So in order for you to have the process of ascension, as you call it, this moving to the higher dimensional realities, you have all that capability within you. It's never not been there. What's been the issue is that you've had layer upon layer upon layer energetically of beliefs. You being an electrical magnetic being, there have been forces set up, fields of magnetism and electricity that have interfered with your ability to access that information. And so as you, each one of you, have made the choice to be aware, followed through on, say, doing the work that needs to be done in order to increase your awareness of who you really are. As that's happened, you're aware of your I am presence to a greater degree. This will be increasing. So you've turned a corner. You're still going to have the times throughout the day. So think of your daily life where you're not aware of your connection and who you really are. We say connection because there's so much communication that's going on constantly between the spirit realm and yourselves within there. You're more aware of it. And as you begin to notice the nature of your reality isn't really changing, but you're seeing more of what's available to be seen and sensed and experienced. Okay? So reality is not changing so much because it changes through your perception. When you observe something, you change it. But what's happening is so important. We've been stressing this all along because we really want everyone on board, is that you are realizing with greater certainty and a feeling, not just words, of who you really are, what your true nature is. So the results of that are that many of you are accessing information quite rapidly and throughout the day, and in particular when you're having conversations with others or you're just in conversation with yourself, which is another thing that we've noticed too, that those of you who are aware of your self-talk, the self-talk is really with this group here, because we're speaking to you, this wonderful group of beings that hear these messages. Your self-talk has greatly improved. I guess we have to use that word. Your self-talk is of a higher vibration. It is more encouraging. It's of a more positive nature, much more loving and compassionate towards yourselves. And this is what has allowed for you to then be able to access or understand, would be better, I guess, and sense your true I am consciousness. And that's going to keep on going. We keep referencing it because it's important that you have that as information. Now, that being said, you have some very important planetary events coming up. You have the various cycles that the planets are going through, but you have these eclipses that will be happening that will bring about some interesting shakeups, okay? As they should. Each time that there are these planetary eclipses, they bring about some sort of another step forward. So the thing we would like to recommend to you, those that are capable of doing this, is to have in the coming weeks in preparation for what's going to happen, to have a greater knowing of your connection to the sun's energy. Okay, what is the sun and you, how that energy penetrates into you, and what do you, if anything, give in exchange from the life-giving force of the sun. So this is important because the sun is, as you all know, the giver of life, right? It feeds life on your planet, and your relationship to the sun is one that's not fully understood yet by all of you. Some of you have tapped into its incredible power of influence within yourselves, but this is the next step in your evolution. So we would recommend that you, if you can, of course, be outside, weather permits, be outside, and when it's a day that you can actually feel or see the sun when it's not been cloudy. Notice how in some parts of your world it's been very, very cloudy. That's meant to prevent you from feeling the penetrating rays of the sun. But the sun still reaches you. Its beneficial rays still reach you whether there's clouds or not. So it's foolish to think that it can be blocked out. So it never really can, because what is reaching you from the sun is of a different vibration than what the clouds are. So we've talked about this. There's a lot of manipulation on your planet in all areas. And of course, your weather has been manipulated. Not always, but often it's manipulated. And there have been forces that have blocked the sun's penetration into Earth through different measures. You know what these things are. And they have in their minds, those that set this up, these individuals that think that they are so clever in putting a barrier between humanity, the individual, and the sun's beneficial rays. So really think about that. How is that possible, right? You have made yourselves really conduits for that energy. Call it sun energy or the I am consciousness. You're conduits. You understand, you feel and know your connection. And it's of a certain frequency and vibration. Again, talking about frequency and vibration. That which blocks those beneficial rays, or they think, they being these individuals that want to prevent all of you from feeling the benefits of the sun, have placed in their clever ways, or so they think, magnetic fields and electrical fields that have interfered with one's ability to feel the benefits of the sun, which isn't really true unless you believe it. Unless you are believing that all of this nonsense that's being created by these forces, and it is nonsense at this point, these forces trying to keep humanity in the dark, you are not of that vibration. Keep that in mind. So when you do your communion with the energy that is coming from the sun, and we would recommend that you, if you can't be outside, sit in a sunny spot in your home or imagine it. Don't ever underestimate the power of your imagination to create the same, because that's what you're doing actually, but to create the same results as if you were actually doing it, sitting in the sun or whatever it is. You are now at a place that the devices used to prevent you from knowing yourself and your true nature aren't impacting you. They're impacting a lot of individuals on your planet, but not you, not to the degree that it is others, because there's not a vibrational match. Keep that in mind. So if you go out and say, oh, there's no sun, I can't do this because it's all cloudy and et cetera, well, then you can't. Okay. But if you go and you say, in spite of the clouds don't exist, or however you want to approach it, the beneficial rays of the sun, its healing qualities that give life, that meaning, are reaching me no matter what, then you've really are in a state of truth. See, this is what it's all about. Everything that you're doing, and this is why your progress in this earthly realm has been so significant, because you have all really taken these things seriously. Even if you're doubting, you'll say, well, let me just try it. And if you find benefit from it, and you usually do from what we suggest to you, then you keep moving forward. So back to what we feel is important here in today's session with you. Spend time either just in your imagination, or if you can, in a environment 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever you can afford, communicating, interacting with the sun's energy. Some of you are already doing it, but we want you to know that now is the time for you to be aware in a conscious way of what that exchange is, what it's all about, and what is it doing for your physical form and then your etheric forms and so on, the other parts of your energy system. How is it all being affected? Because your vibration and frequency is overriding the limitations of the physical 3D form. Period. The end. And it's, as we said, the turning point was recently. And some of you may have felt it as moments of clarity, or you may have felt a surge of energy, feeling good. You could have gotten it in any number of ways. But this is what is happening. And as you continue to uncover the truth of who you really are, you are removing those shackles that are keeping you tethered to this third D experience that so many of you realize is not your true nature, and that you don't need it to be everything that you are already all of those things. So hopefully this helps you. We want to bring forward some other information about the sun and your interaction, but down the road a bit, we want to see what happens with everyone as you go through your experiences. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time to visit with us and being aware and giving us the opportunity to assist you, and you assist us as well. So thank you. This is all for now. We love you very much. We are Sornia. Goodbye.